truth. 3 shots to the face, self-defense.
What's up, everybody?
Called her a fucking bitch, then forgot her name. But Grace don't flinch, even staring at death. Her last words holding mercy with the final breath. Tell me who the enemy is, 'cause it ain't my neighbor, it's the business. The left and the right don't own the prison. The 1% does, and they like division. And I would hit an airframe in the attic, lights out, fear loud, panic manic. History don't run, screams on repeat. Different uniforms, same damn elite. This ain't left versus right, it's rich versus life. And I would have hit an airframe. If the past have warnings, they sound like this. Brown kids in cages, ice with the hit list. Presidents calling for takeover missions. Dictatorship dressed as American tradition. They tell us we're divided, but we're really distracted. While billionaires laugh from their bunkers contracted. Renee said, I'm not mad at you. And that's more patriot than the red, white, blue. And I would hit an airframe in the attic, and Renee in my car if the stakes turn tragic. If resistance had a name, it would sound like average. People try to live without dying for baggage. This ain't left versus right, it's rich versus life. And Anne Frank would have had a friend. If history repeats, then I repeat too. I'd hide whoever they hunt, even if they hunt you.
What's up, everybody? How we doing on this Tuesday evening? How's everybody doing? I saw a couple people who said, hey, what's up, Nancy and Lakin and Pretty Bird? Chrissy. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Hey, Annie. Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? You know, well, hold on, let me shut this. Love ya. You're already on Fortnite. Trying to stay warm. Yeah, it has been crazy. We had our little ice storm came through. Got about a little over half an inch of ice. We were pretty much melted up pretty good yesterday. And then have some like spots with like black ice and stuff. What's up, Becca? Oh yeah, freaking hiccups. I hate that shit. Where are you from, Chrissy? Are you from Louisiana? Aren't you from Louisiana? What's up, busy? Michigan. Okay. Michigan. Okay, so yeah, I know it's super snowy up there. And then they're saying what more snow like is supposed to be coming through, so I'm over it already. Already over it. Hella snow. We don't get snow. We got nothing but ice. No snow whatsoever. We just got ice. I mean, maybe some like flurries of snow that came through, but that's about it. And then I think we got down to like, I think last night was like 14, which is low for us. I know y'all up there in like the northern states and stuff, y'all be dealing with like them negative numbers and single digits all the time. Not me. I'm not used to that. Oof. But I have a nice jacket. I don't know where, I forget where we got it from. Molly got Sam one, and then I was like, oh, I gotta get me one of them. And those are the warmest things, so I was not cold at all when I was out there, but my face was cold. You are getting my Wyoming weather. Yeah, one of my best friends lives in Wyoming. So it was snowing on her birthday in like May. But y'all don't shut down. Y'all still be doing what y'all be doing with all that snow coming down. Because she be at work all the time. And she worked night shift. So I'm like, you know, it is freezing cold out there driving on them streets, but it's different up there. They have them snow tires and no fear. We got 20 inches of snow in Rhodesia. Wasn't built to be a northern. No, me neither. Look, I will take heat any day over cold. My body reacts to cold. I don't know what it is. Like my body literally like reacts to it. Like my hands start itching. Like like I don't even know how to explain. I wish I knew how to explain it. Like they itch from the inside when I get like super cold. I don't know how to explain like what that means. Like it's like a tingly, itchy, but like you can't make it go away, and it hurts. It hurts at the same time. It's like, I don't know, electricity. Yeah, it's super weird, man. But I do not like cold like that. Oh shit, you from Georgia living in Iowa? Oh hell no. I could not move to a northern. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't. I give you props. I don't think that I could do that shit. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I guess it could be. I guess it is nerves. I'm not sure. -25 wind chill, 18 inches of snow. You love winter? You love that? Hey, as long as it's your thing. If you like it or you love it, then you in the right place for it. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Blaines and things. You know, if that's your thing, I'm all for it. A lot of people don't like heat, and I will take the heat any day. Like, you give me high humidity and whatever, and I'm just like, all right, cool. I like snow. I like when it comes down. I like the fluffiness of it. And then I like it to be gone within 24 to 48 hours. But I don't think I've ever seen, like, living here in the South, more snow than, like, maybe, like, 5 inches. And 5 inches don't look like a lot here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it looked like a lot, but it don't, because we always get ice on top of it, so it, like, pushes it down. We always get snow first, and then we get ice behind the snow. So you get the fluffy snow for, like, a few minutes, where you can go out and, like, play in it, and then the ice comes, and then it just becomes this sheet. It's hard to go live when I think I was second guessing myself. I had got to a point where I was nervous about how people were gonna react to me speaking up and saying how I feel about what's going on here. And I had some friends that, talked to me, and they're like, you just gotta be you. Like, that's the whole point of your platform. So I got to a point, I've been doing a lot of thinking and just reevaluating a lot of things in my life. And I just got to a point where I was just like, if I lose every single one of my followers, then they weren't meant to be a part of my following. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't mean that as like following my flock, my people, but I mean like a part that like follows along and listens to my journey and listens to my thought process and how I respond to things and communicate with me. So if I lose all of those people who used to think that I had some sort of qualities that they felt that they should follow me and listen to what I had to say, if they no longer feel that way, they weren't supposed to be in my life. You know what I'm saying? And then I can rebuild with like-minded people who believe in the same things that I do. Because I've got to a point where I don't understand how MAGA people think. I can't comprehend it. But what I do know is they are as they believe in their values as strong as I believe in my values. And so it gets to a point where it's almost idiotic to try to explain yourself and have them change their thought process when I know they couldn't change mine. And I say, like, you don't know how you're going to react until you're in a lot of these situations. And a year ago, 6 months ago, I was saying, like, I wouldn't end friendships and I wouldn't end being, like, communicating with family members just because of their political values. And 3, 6 months, a year down the road, I disagree with what I said. I will 1000% cut you off. I don't want to be friends with you. I don't want to associate with you. I don't respect you. I don't want you a part of my reality. That doesn't mean I want any ill will towards you. I have empathy. I don't want harm or wish harm on anyone. I just don't want you to be a part of my reality. I no longer want to even believe you exist. You live your life and have your beliefs, and I'll live mine and I'll have my beliefs. I'm going to speak on how I feel. I'm going to stand up for what I believe in. I'm going to protect whoever I can, and I would hope that they would do the same thing for me. But if you don't believe or have the same morals and values that I do, and the only reason that we connected is because I got to suck it up. Hold on. Y'all know I'm an emotional little bitch, so hold up. That's another thing I'm trying to work on. I hate being so sensitive, but I think it's just a part of being an empath. Like, you feel things differently. You put yourself in those situations, and obviously you can't feel what happened to them, but you can think on it and you can say, like, that shit had to have sucked. Like, Renee didn't know it was going to happen to her. It just happened so quickly. It really fucked me up. Ugh. I even took it out of it, so I wouldn't, like... It really fucked me up to watch what they did to Alex Pretty. That man feared having all them on top of him. To hear the stories about, like, who he was, and then for us to watch it. We already watched Charlie Kirk with a public execution. And it's almost like they're trying to desensitize murder right in front of us. Like, they're just trying to desensitize it. It's no longer political. You know what I mean? Like, never agreed with this. I've always said, like, my thoughts and how I feel about Trump and the administration that he runs.
And a big fear is what he's doing. But, like, to know that, like, there's people out there who just believe that this man pulled a pew-pew out and went there to massacre I can only imagine what those women felt like, knowing that he was just trying to, like, pick them up and help them get across the street after being pushed. It's such a fucked up world where someone can literally see it. Like, there's every angle, and there's some AI shit out there. Of course there is. There's AI fucking everything, okay? But there's legit fucking videos from the people that was right there. And y'all don't fucking believe your own eyes, bro. You're like, well, I have to just do a little bit more research. They have to do a little bit more investigating. Like, yo, the man was in the fetal position. You can see his fucking hands on the ground. You can see the officer disarm the weapon from the holster, and you can hear them unload 8 to 12 rounds. And then you listen to the fucking ICE officer say, oh, it was like Call of Duty. And you watch the other guy clap. And you're like, good job, boys. And then you have your president of the United States saying tonight that weapons shouldn't be allowed or aren't allowed to be out in public at protest or any of this. These are the same ones who are so loud and proud about the Second Amendment and think that the liberals are against the Second Amendment or something because that's just what they've been told, because for some reason y'all are too, I don't know if it's uneducated or just fucking lazy to fucking pay attention. I don't get it. Yeah, and the same people who say it's apples to oranges talking about Kyle Rittenhouse. And you praise that boy who was 17, had an AR, crossed state lines, which is illegal at 17. You can cross the state lines with a weapon. Went there, walked around with it open carry, shot 2 people, took their lives, and he got a fucking scholarship. He got a fucking scholarship, bro. Got praised. He's a hero. But Alex Preddy is a domestic terrorist? Our president is a fucking domestic terrorist. His administration that is not condemning what is happening right now. Those are domestic terrorists. They are literally taking your rights away from you right in front of your fucking face. Right in front of your face. And you're screaming, it's for America. You're fucking brainwashed if you believe that. If you can't watch a man be publicly executed for no reason, because of ego. If you think that's okay, the whole point of this is, I don't care if I lose you as a part of my following. I don't care if I lose you as a friend. I don't care if I lose you as a family member. If you openly support this, if you silently support this, I don't want to be a part of your life. I don't want anything to do with you. Because at this point, after watching these amount of deaths, and that's not all of them, I can read you a list of just the ones in 2026 that are about, what, 8? I can read you the 50 or more that happened in 2025. I can read you a lot of names. I can read the 800 people who are just missing after being put in alligator Alcatraz. I think it's actually been up to 1,200. Missing. They have no idea where they're at. You think that's not genocide? You think that's not exactly what happened in Germany with the Jews? You think that's not what happened? They just went missing. And no one asked about them except for their families, who aren't getting any fucking answers. What happened to all of them? We don't talk about it. We just say, that ain't happening. They wouldn't do that to us. And I talk Southern because that's what I'm around. I'm around Southern people who make excuses for this fucking behavior on a daily basis. And if you don't speak up when they're saying this idiotic shit, that's how they take over. Silence. Powerful people want silence. They don't want you to speak up. They want you to shut up and sit down. You don't have to fight them. Speak up. Let them know that they are fucking wrong. Let them know that their thought process should be changed. Stop sitting silent and thinking, oh, well, that's not me. It doesn't affect me. It does affect you. It does affect you. If you are a human, it affects you. We have countries now that fucking despise us. They're not fearful of Donald Trump because he's some powerful man. They're fearful that he will do something fucking stupid that can't be reversed. And you know who's going to go up? You know who's going to take the blame for what this administration does to other countries when they come after us? The American people. Just like when we went to Venezuela and captured their leader, we killed how many people? Do you know how we captured it? It wasn't this great old jolly way. He makes it sound like we did it like we were fucking ninjas with it. We went in there and fucking bombed them and where citizens were and murdered them to distract them so they could go in and capture. They killed innocent people. But it's okay, they're not American, so you don't have to worry about it. It doesn't affect you. That's where I got to a point where I don't fucking care if you follow me at all. I don't care if you're friends with me. If this is the shit that you fucking believe in. This is inhumane. And you're fucking praising it. I'm trying to learn to stop cussing as much but my anger comes out and that's just... I appreciate that. Well, that's the thing. I think a lot of people are just embarrassed to say that they voted for him or are embarrassed to admit that they were wrong in their decision. It's okay to be wrong. It is okay to be wrong. And still say this, I voted for Donald Trump, right? That's what you say. I voted for Donald Trump. What's happening here in America is not okay. Those two can be the same. But when you say, I voted for Donald Trump, everything he's doing right now with ICE and his administration is perfectly okay and beneficial to America. That's where I have a problem. That's where I don't support you.
I don't believe in what you believe in. And that's why I say, if your beliefs are as strong as I believe, then there's no change in your mind. So therefore, we just should not be around each other. You're not going to like my views. You're not going to like my opinions. And I'm not going to like yours. And so therefore, there's nothing beneficial that would come from any sort of conversation. We do not have the same morals and values. That's okay. I don't want to be around you. Exactly. The Second Amendment. Fought so hard for it, and then you have a president who says, it's been the whole time, Obama's going to take the Second Amendment. They're going to take the guns from you. Oh, Biden and Harris going to take it from you. They're going to turn this into a socialist country. They're going to turn this into all of this. Look what the fuck has happened. It is not Obama, Biden, or Kamala Harris that is doing exactly what they said they were going to do. It is Donald Trump that's doing this and his administration. And guess what? When it gets hard, he starts kicking them to the curb. So the leader, Bovine, of ICE, was just demoted today. You know, Mr. SS Nazi walking around. You know that man? He was demoted and sent back to California. Why? Because people are fucking pissed. People realize that they don't have to be afraid. People already know that we might lose our life out there doing what we have to do to protect people, to protect the actual, the actual Constitution, because the people who say that they support it loudly, the ones that are screaming about the Constitution and truly don't know what is in it besides the Second Amendment, those people ain't saying a fucking word about the Constitution being fucking taken and stripped from us right now. But people who do understand the Second Amendment, First Amendment, Third, Fourth, Fifth, Sixth, Seventh, Eighth, Ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th, go all the way up 22nd, 20th. The ones that actually understand it and realize that they are fucking stripping the rights right out of us, we actually do want to fucking stand up and not allow a government to take control the way that they're trying. It's I don't understand. It's like the ones that are screaming about their problems and this, that, and the other aren't doing shit when it actually affects them. It's the ones who stay quiet and realize that, we're going to sit back and wait. And when this actually happens, we're going to have to go out there and fucking fight. And guess what? Some of us are going to lose our lives. And we were told that ICE is going to be back in Charlotte in the next week or two. And that if you show up to your immigration hearing, that you will be taken into custody by ICE, no matter what. We've already found out that ICE will be at our Super Bowl. They will be at the Winter Olympics. I'm going to be out there. 1,000%. And if we lose our lives, I hope that there's more people out there that will fucking scream and fight and let people know that this is wrong. This isn't okay. Because, unfortunately, there can't be, the brown people can't go out there. Latinos, Indian. I mean, if you have a brown complexion, you can't really be out there much fighting right now or helping. Why? Because they're just fucking pulling them and detaining them and taking them to centers. Whether American citizens or not, they're still detaining them because of the color of their skin. If you're not watching that, if you're not seeing that, if you don't agree that this is a genocide, I don't know. I don't see how we're in the same America. I don't understand what you're not seeing. You have, which I'm not a big fan of Fox, CNN, or anything like that, but you literally have Fox saying, no, this is not okay. Y'all are lying. Y'all are absolutely lying, and we're watching it, and you're still telling us, you're gaslighting us into trying to make us believe that this is okay. That the victims are the agents that are murdering people. They literally went on TV and said that they were the victims. And he's in a from what I was told, he's in a detention center in Texas right now. That we were told at first that he was with his father in a family holding, but from what I've gathered from a multitude of different people, it seems like he's in the same what's it called? Starts with a D. I can't think of the detention center. And if you think these are detention centers, these are camps. These are concentration camps. These are fucking camps. They are literally giving them metal insulated fucking, like, what are those little emergency blankets? Those little look like aluminum foil emergency blankets. They're in fucking dog cages. Okay? They're in fucking dog cages. They're not giving them the food that they need. They're not giving them the hydration or the water that they need. They're not. They don't have windows inside of there. They're not getting sunlight. They're getting treated worse than prisoners right now. Okay, this is a fucking concentration camp. We have people that are being killed inside of there. They've already had the one. What I can't think of what his name is. I'll look it up. Who was literally strangled to death inside of there by an ICE officer. And they claimed that he was having heart issues. That's what the officer said. But the inmate said no. All of the inmates in there said that is not what happened. And then when they got to the coroner and they did the autopsy, homicide, asphyxiation, it was not heart. We have ICE officers admitting guilt to raping women inside of there in exchange to letting them see their child. We have children being held in detention camps in Texas, and we have no idea what the fuck's happening inside of there. We have no idea what is happening. We don't know who's in there. They don't have records. They're turning away attorneys at the doors. This is fucking America. They're turning away attorneys at the doors of these concentration camps. You're okay with that? You believe in the Constitution. You believe in that pledge that we had to fucking... I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Not Americans, for all. All. Black, white, red, blue, yellow, green. Don't give a fuck, even if they're aliens. For all. Justice for all. You can't have an attorney walk in there to speak with any clients. They're being turned away. Where's this in Texas? It is called, let me find out what that camp is called. I'll probably have it in my favorites. This is a video of this is the attorney's video. This is actually the attorney right here. Immigration attorney Eric Lee captures video outside of ICE's Dilley, Dilley facility in Texas, where 5-year-old Liam Ramos is being detained. Lee, who was quickly told to stop filming, said he heard what sounds like hundreds of children that are chanting, "Let us out." And he films this.
I'm outside. It doesn't say out here. And I've just been ordered to leave the premises. and she's yelling at me right now, so I'm gonna head back to my car and try and keep you abreast of the situation.
So Dilley, Dilley, Dilley in Texas. That is a concentration camp where they're holding hundreds of children inside of there. They're not letting attorneys go in there. They're not letting parents go in there to even speak with their children. So we've kidnapped hundreds of children. We have a president who is all over the Epstein files, and we have hundreds of fucking children that are unaccounted for. We don't know who they are. We don't know their names, except for that we know Liam's inside of there. So we have hundreds of kids, and we have a pedophile. We have someone who's literally in these files. We have someone who literally said that if his daughter was not his daughter, he would be dating her. We have someone who literally said he walks into changing rooms of Miss America pageants while the women are undressing because he's the owner. You can say what you want, he's fucking gross. I am definitely fearful to know that there's people in this administration that are on the fucking files, and we have children and women who we don't fucking have accountability for. We have nothing. And then we have ICE that's just able to take them and shoot them in the fucking head. And they say, that was justified. Was it justified when they shot him and they said, wow, that was like playing Call of Duty? Did you hear that part? Go watch the videos. That's not fucking AI. That came out literally when the shooting happened. I don't fucking matter. You don't fucking matter. If I go out there and I get shot by ICE tomorrow, I'll just be another fucking person that lost their life. And you know what? I'll be considered a domestic terrorist because my TikTok shows that I'm against this administration. So therefore, I'm obviously a domestic terrorist, right? I'm part of the LGBTQ community. So therefore, I'm obviously a domestic terrorist, right? I obviously don't care about America. Obviously don't care about people, right? Because it doesn't matter anymore. These people don't fucking care. They do not care about you. And you fucking, and you praise them. And you make up excuses. He was right when he said he could walk out and he could shoot someone in the middle of Fifth Avenue. And he would still have the same amount of votes. He wasn't lying. He proved it. He proved that y'all don't give a fuck. He can be in the files. He can say whatever he wants to little kids. He can say and do whatever he wants to women. And he still gets your respect. That's fucking gross. That's like giving your rapist respect. Would you? If someone took that from you, they essayed you, you're going to give him respect? You say, oh, he's the man. He's a good businessman. He's what God sent him here. He's a prophet from God. Divorced 3 times. Or married 3 times. Sent from God, right? Let me tell you a little something, because I grew up. My grandfather was a pastor. My great-grandparents were missionaries. They went to Romania and India, built churches. My entire life, I grew up in a very Southern Baptist household. And you want to know what I learned? If you're a Christian, I want you to listen. I learned a lot about Revelations. A lot. I grew up thinking that Obama was the Antichrist and this was going to happen, all of this. What's it saying in Revelations, guys? What happens? There's going to be someone that comes down basically political. And they're going to make you think they can do a lot of things. And there's going to be a third of the population that believes him. They're going to follow him. And they're going to wear that symbol above their forehead, right? They're going to be marked. You're going to have someone that just thinks he's grand. And people are going to believe that he was sent from God. But he's not. He's the Antichrist. Let me tell you, in Christianity, they don't say that it's okay to have your marriage 3 different times, to cheat, commit adultery. That's one of the 10 commandments. He committed adultery on every single one of his wives. You know what I mean? You think this is someone that God sent down? If he sent him down, he sent him down to take it out because he's the Antichrist. Okay? I'm not that. I don't believe that there's the Antichrist, and I'm not one that believes as hard as everybody else does. I think a lot of this is, I'm not a believer like that. I don't think that there is an Antichrist. But for people who are a diehard Christian and believe in their Bible and believe all that, you look up Revelations, you look up what's going on, and if you don't think that you're one of the followers that's going to fall, let me tell you a little secret. The people that y'all were thinking that are so evil and are against this country, those are the ones that's going to be going up in that rapture if it's true. Because we cared about the poor. We treat immigrants as if they are our loved ones. We don't hate. We literally love. You're mad at us because we have empathy for humans. Make that fucking make sense. We're the evil ones because we're not okay with murder and rape. We're not wanting to let people get away with it because it's their friends. Donald Trump literally went up just the other week and said that the files shouldn't come out because it could harm some of his friends. That is your president saying he doesn't want the files to come out because it could harm some of his friends. And you support it. You're not fucking Christian. If you support this, you are completely opposite of Jesus Christ. You would fucking deport him in a second because he is not blonde hair. He is not blue-eyed. He is not white. He would be Middle Eastern if anything. He would be brown. You would deport him. You would think that he was crazy. You would call him the devil. You would literally call him a liberal, a libtard. You would hate him. You would hate everything that he stood for. Everything. You're the complete opposite. You go to church on Sunday and listen to these messages and then are okay with the complete opposite of what you fucking believe. Same people fall off. Yo. I can't even. Y'all, I'm just. It's fucking crazy. Well, I've changed my, I guess I'll tell the ones that's in here. I've changed my thought process on it. I wanted to do true crime and paranormal podcasts. That was something that I've always been into, and it was something that I was always passionate about. And I can't put it on, but I have decided we switched it up. We're gonna start. One of my really good friends who's she's got a degree in political science. It's pretty much one of her passions. Everything she does has to do with political science. Me and her are going to start a podcast. We're going to hopefully be able to break things down. My goal is to have people who's independent or just doesn't really understand a whole lot about politics. I want them to be able to understand why it matters, because we grew up thinking that our vote doesn't count. And I want you to know that politics, Congress, those are for the people. You are the reason that we have a government. It is for the people. It's not for themselves. It is for the people. And you need to know what's going on in this world. You need to know what's going on in your own country. And the problem is you don't. You need to look at both sides and then be able to come to a realization of what is actually going on. So I'm hoping that we can break things down a little bit more, explain some of the things, and also get out some of the anger that's happening and make people understand why we're angry. It's not to start riots, going and doing a protest, that is not some fucking domestic terrorist Antifa, whatever y'all want to call it. We're protesting for people's rights. We're protesting so no more people have to fucking die. We're protesting because our Constitution says that we're supposed to get due process. It doesn't matter if you're American or not, you get due process. We're protesting because you shouldn't lose your life for carrying a concealed weapon when you're allowed to. You should not be told that your rights no longer matter. And when you stop using your rights, you lose your rights. It's very easily taken away when people are silent and they allow the government to take over everything. It started with abortion and all of this stuff. Listen, when you think that government should have rights over body autonomy, like that right there is asinine. If I were to go and was able to make a law and stated that every man at the age of 18 has to get a vasectomy, and they're not allowed to... No, actually, I'm going to take that back because y'all won't allow abortions for 10. And a lot of these MAGA states and stuff. So we're going to say at the age of 10, boys, or you can do it at birth if you want, whatever you want to do, boys have to get a vasectomy. And so therefore, you will not, you won't be able to have children until you're ready. So that way, when you get married and you have found the person that you decided you want to be with, then you can go get it reversed, and therefore then you can have children, right? They wouldn't be okay with that. Men would not be okay with that. If we made laws that first offense, rape, is you get your dick cut off. First offense. You don't get a second one. We're not strike one, strike two. You rape someone, minor or adult, your dick's cut off. Okay? Is that okay? Because now you're going to tell me what I can and can't do with my body. You're going to tell me that, most cases it doesn't have to do with rape, but you can't tell me how many women have been raped and molested. I guarantee you that 90% of us have had some sort of sexual assault happen to us. Or we felt some sort of uncomfort, some nasty ass fucking man walking up thinking that they can fucking just do whatever because we're a woman and they're a man. I am done with that shit, okay? Ain't no motherfucking man better than me. Just because you're a man, I don't give a fuck if you're a man or not. You are not better than me because you are a man. You may be better at me at different fields, but you're not better than me because you're a man. And if you think you have the right to come up and slap me in the ass, grab my titty, make some rude ass comment to me, try to fucking put something in my drink, try to fucking, you know what I'm saying? When you try to do that because you think you're a man and you're better than us, no. At that point, you should get your dick cut off. I mean, but let's do it. I will serve my ass. I will sit my ass in prison. Touch me and think I won't pull out my pocket knife and cut you fucking... your nuts will be gone. Your dick will be gone. But that's what we should start doing. You want to have rights over my body? I have rights over your body. Simple as that. Because 98% of rape is a man. It ain't a woman. There's 2% that there is. There's nasty women out there, and I'm not saying there's not. But 98% of rape is a man. And you want to fucking tell me what right you have over my body? You already take the rights of my body away. And then say, did you drink too much? Well, what was she wearing? I have never... I don't know a straight woman that walked by and said, I just had to grab him by the dick. Because he was just so hot. He just walked by. I mean, he was wearing shorts. I just had to grab his dick. I had to put something in his drink because of what he was wearing. He didn't wear a shirt at the pool. Can you believe it? So I roofied him. No biggie, right? He should have been wearing that. My sexuality just took over. I couldn't help it. Those are the same people that voted for this man. Proud Boys. Those are some other people that voted for this man. Loud and proud. So the ones that voted for Donald Trump, you voted on the same side as the Proud Boys, as the KKK. Well, that's just my philosophy. I would like to make up a lot of laws too and rules just to, just because I can. That's just my thoughts. That's my philosophy on it. If you don't like my comments or my opinions or anything, you can block me. You can unfollow me. You can do whatever. You don't have to be here. But this is my story and I'm sticking to it. This is Jen. It's funny to me that people followed me because I was spreading awareness about what who was doing, Ashley Chauvin. And I started spreading awareness because of the way I felt and how she handled things with people and how she hurt them and how she bullied them. And then for people to think that I wouldn't feel the exact same way about what's happening in our country and I wouldn't stand up for people who's being bullied and attacked, it's insanity to me. If you followed me and the only thing that we had in common is that you were okay with the awareness that I was spreading with Ashley Chauvin and you're not okay with this, it's okay. Sometimes we agree on one thing and we don't agree on others, but I don't think that we should associate with each other anymore. I'm glad that you approved of how things went. I'm glad that you were there and supported me throughout it. And once it got to modern day Germany, I don't want you in my life. I don't want you in my lives. I don't want you watching my videos. I don't want you interacting with my stuff. I don't want you in my reality. I don't know how much more clear I could be. I've lost about 100 people so far. I'm watching. I'm hoping that the MAGA people that do follow me are gone, that they start dropping off because I don't want them here. I think you're uneducated. I think you're ignorant. I think you are completely anti-America. I think you are the evil ones. I think you are a part of racism. I think you believe that you're not racist because you like black people or Mexicans or Hispanic or you eat at their restaurants or something and that makes you somehow not racist. That's not true. If you're okay with what's happening to brown people and you say, they're illegal, they're human, don't give a fuck, you're racist. It's not about citizenship. When you have people going missing that are brown, 800 people, and no one fucking talks on it. When you have 1,200 people, 800 to 1,200 people. Look it up. You think I'm fucking lying. Alligator Alcatraz in Florida. Look up how many people that they cannot find anything on. There's 8 to 1,200 people. Do you hear that in the news? You don't. Why? Because it's fucking racist. They're brown and they don't care. They're not giving airtime to their families. They're not fucking doing this because of anything besides greed and racism. Your president, Donald Trump, went up and said that white people are dealing with reverse racism. If you fucking believe that, I think you're fucking stupid. I just can't say it I don't know another way to put it. If that's what you believe, I think you're fucking stupid. You can't say, they're getting the criminals out of here. You can't say anything about criminal activity, and that's what's happening when you voted for a 34-time convicted felon. You also voted for a man who was held civilly liable. He was found guilty in a civil court for raping E. Jean Carroll. He wouldn't give his DNA, but there was still enough evidence to prove that he was guilty of raping her. He pardoned a man who literally had, what was his name? I'll have to pull it up. He literally had like one of the biggest drug trafficking charges on him. And he was from a different country. He pardoned him. But he was getting Maduro for the same reason, right? He was going to help the Venezuelan people out. Them Venezuelan people, they're cheering. They were so happy with what Donald Trump did. Goes to show you don't know a fucking thing. You don't understand that Maduro's regime is still in? That he didn't do anything besides take him so he could take over the oil? The $400 million that he just got. Do you know where that money is? Because it's not for America. That's in a foreign bank account in Qatar, the same place that gave Donald Trump a plane. That's where that $400 million from that oil is. It's in Qatar, in a foreign bank account. Not for America, for good old Donald Trump. He did that for himself. You sit here and he gave away his check where he was getting paid in the White House. He gave it away to people. He spent so much. Look at how much he has made. Look at how much he has made. His son, Barron Trump, is literally doing illegal trading. Look at what's happening. Do you see how much money he's making? He knows when they're selling. We're just letting everyone get away with it. Go look how much money that he's made. Giving away his money. Y'all are fucking funny. Y'all are so stupid. Did you listen in history class? What's up, Katie? Did you? Do you remember learning about what happened in Germany? I bet you felt sad for it. Bet you were like, how did that happen? How could they let them do all of that? We would never let that happen here in the great country of America. Also, I just want to let you know, I don't know if everybody knows this, America is not just the United States. North America is a continent. The Americas, North and South America, that is America. The United States of America is a country inside of America. Maybe you didn't learn that either. One more time. The United States of America. That means we are the states. We have states inside of America, the continent. Puerto Rico, they're American citizens. Bad Bunny, American. Shakira, not. You were okay with her, but you're not okay with American. You need to learn the difference. Beatles, not American. I know they were white. I know you saw them. They were white. They weren't American. Did y'all know that? Did you know that United States is not America? I want everybody to know that before they leave this live. That's not America. You're going to the Super Bowl? Oh, I'm gonna. Fuck yeah. Green Day. Bad Bunny. I don't want to be an American idiot. I'm not a part of the MAGA agenda. Love it. So we did get that. The ones in here who didn't know it, and you tell other people, because word of mouth travels quickly, and then people will learn. So 119 people in here. If 119 people tell another, just one person, then people will start to realize what America is and stop thinking that you are American citizens. You are United States citizens. If that's what you want to consider, if you want to, you can't be so stupid to say that they're not American citizens when you don't know what America is. You don't know. That's how stupid you are. And you're like, well, you know what I meant. No, you're stupid. United States of America. U.S. citizen. American citizen. American. They're South America. That's America. They're not U.S. citizens, but they're American. They're American citizens. Thank you. My family's from Ireland and Scotland. I was born here, but my blood does not. If you do my DNA, it comes back and says, your roots are from Ireland and Scotland and a couple other places, right? But you know what it doesn't come back to? The United States of America. Why? Because your bloodline probably doesn't come here unless you're Native American. I just don't. Well, we took this fair and square. We came over here and took it from the American, from Native Americans, who I called Indian. I took it from him, so we're the citizens. You're fucking stupid. What the? We stole the land. Also, Christopher Columbus was a fucking idiot, okay? Do you know why he called them Indians? Do you know why we called them Indians? Why? Because he thought he landed in India. He was a fucking moron. Y'all praise this man. Christopher Columbus Day. He's a fucking idiot. He landed here by accident, had no idea what the fuck he was doing, and he thought that he was in India. And then we raped and murdered and lied and said we were going to do deals with these people, and we raped and murdered and killed them. And then we said they're savages. They're savages. And now we sit here like it's normal while they live on reservations and we live on their fucking land. And you think it's yours because you were born here. You're not a true American. Half of y'all wasn't even born, or half of your family lineage doesn't even come from the American continent, period. North America and South America, you probably don't even come from there. You probably come from Europe. You're so diehard from America and don't know anything about its fucking history. You don't understand your own constitution. Hell, you don't even understand your own fucking religion. You pick and choose things out of it. Now he wants Greenland. He wants to build a gold dome on Greenland. He said that in a speech when he was at the Swiss conference. We're going to build a gold dome. A gold dome. Because I like gold. gold, gold, gold. He also said that the stock market's doing good. So if you're invested in stock, I would recommend to probably pull that shit out, just like I did, because guess what's gonna happen? When you got billionaires telling you, oh, invest in stocks, they want you to buy because they're gonna fucking sell and they're gonna swipe that money up. And guess what? They don't give a fuck about you because they don't know your name. They don't care, and they'll do it to their own fucking family. Simple as that. Go ahead and follow what the billionaires do. And you're going to see what they're going to do. They're going to take your money. How you think they get billions? Because we're stupid. We fucking keep giving it to them. Just take my fucking money. They get rich and we get poor. All of our shit goes up. And they don't even know the word groceries. They think that the word groceries is outdated. That's what President Donald Trump said. The word groceries is outdated. Do people even say that anymore? Who the fuck? What the fuck do you call it? What do you call it? McDonald's? Groceries is outdated. This man is not even in touch with 7/8 of the population of America and what we go through and how much we struggle to make sure everything is paid for. The fuck do you call groceries if that's outdated? I'm going to the grocery store. I gotta go get some groceries. What the fuck else would you call it? He said the affordability. He said affordability is a Democratic hoax. And y'all are like, yeah, fuck them libtards. It is. He ran his fucking presidential campaign on how he was going to make America affordable again. You fucking... But now, a year later, it's a Democratic hoax. Affordability from a fucking billionaire. Guys, boomers, I get it. You think us millennials and Gen Xers and Gen A and Gen Z, you think that we are a lazy generation that doesn't do anything and we don't care and we don't work for our shit. Let me tell you a little something about us millennials and Gen Xers and Gen Z and all that. Let me tell you a little bit about it, okay? Back in your day growing up, one person in the household could work and they could afford a family of 4 or 5. One person, they could afford it because their rent was like $200 a month, if that. Their mortgage was low. Land was affordable. You could buy acres of land with everything for $3,000, $1,000. We can't do that now. We have homes coming up in the high $700,000. The average median home in America is $400,000. We can't afford to do the shit that you could because y'all fucked it up for us. Your greed ruined it for us. You got the money and you started earning it and you have all of these things for you. And good job, you worked for it. But you ruined it for the rest of us who can't fucking afford shit. You could buy a car for $3,000. I can't buy a car for less than $25,000, and that you're lucky if you get anything in it. Average price cars right now are $40,000. interest rates on everything is anywhere from 5 to 25 fucking percent, even with great credit. Don't fucking sit here and tell me a motherfucking thing about how I'm lazy or this generation doesn't work for what they're doing. We can't fucking, that's all we do. We fucking work all the time. That's literally all the fuck we do. We can't afford to do anything else. We work so we can pay for our fucking health care. We work so we can pay for all of our bills. We work so we can afford a fucking vehicle to get back and forth to work. The fuck are you talking about? My house, I locked up before COVID and got it for $250,000. This house is worth almost $500,000 now. Do you think I would have been able to? That shit went up within a year of us buying it. If I would have waited 10 months, I wouldn't have been able to afford this house. I would have still been renting. You know what I mean? I'm glad you work. And it's not all boomers. I'm not saying it's all, but look and see what the fuck happened from this generation to that generation, and look at the interest rates, and look how much everything cost, and look at what we have, and I'm telling you, it was pure greed. Y'all sold everything off to make a buck. And of course, it's not everyone. Everyone didn't have that opportunity. But that generation sold us off. And now we have Jack. Everything is just, look who's still in charge. Yeah, prices of homes is just outrageous, man. Like, you expect people to be able to buy a home, and then Donald Trump says, "Well, we're gonna make it where houses are affordable again. We're gonna give them a 50-year mortgage, a 50-year mortgage." You think that's a good idea? We send so much money over, and y'all talk about foreign aid all the time. MAGA talks about foreign aid all the time, and how we should be doing this for America. We send so much money to Israel, to their government, right? Here's what I want to understand. We send billions of dollars over to Israel, to their government. We pay for their free health care. We pay for their free schooling. But for some reason, everyone in America, political-wise, is funded by AIPAC, which is American Israel PAC, right? They're all funded by Israel. Why are we funding Israel for their country, and then they're funding millions upon millions into America to politicians? If you don't think that's a money laundering scheme, I don't know what the fuck make it make sense. Why are we giving them money for them to turn around and donate it to us into these campaigns? Does anyone want to explain it? I still haven't been able to figure that out. Also, if you don't know, I'm completely against Israel government. Fuck Israel when it comes to their government. No problem with Jewish people whatsoever, but the government of Israel is corrupt, just like the government of America right now. It is corrupt, and that is a part of all politicians. That is Democratic, Republican. They're all this Israel supporting genocide bullshit. So if you think that I'm just this full-on Democrat, you're wrong, because I think that there's tons of Democratic politicians out there that I do not support, because they are in full support and taking donations from Israel's government. I have a problem with that. Israel literally said this was the biggest thing that they needed, was for Oracle to get TikTok. And guess what? They got it. So this app right here, it was fun while it lasted. This shit's about to go down. Most people are already realizing we're going to be censored. if we are anti Trump in any way, we're going to be censored. If we want to talk about the Epstein files, we're going to be censored. It's not going to be pushed out. My videos today, I posted 2 videos yesterday and today. One video just sat there, wouldn't do anything, literally 0 views, would not push out whatsoever. The one today, for 6 hours, it sat there with 1 view, wouldn't push it. So that's never happened. But of course, it's anti-ICE and anti the Trump administration, and so we're watching freedom of speech being taken from us. We're watching the Second Amendment being taken from us. We're watching the Fifth Amendment being taken from us, and we're not invoking the 22nd, 23rd. We're not doing anything that we should be doing. We have Democratic congressmen and Republican congressmen that are sitting there right now that could fucking do something. They could fucking do something, and they're not. They're sitting by just idly moving their, like, twiddling their fucking thumbs, ain't doing shit. So I'm not this person who is diehard Democrat or anything like that. I am diehard against what the fuck is happening right now. Same thing happened during the last administration. Explain it. What happened during the last administration? Explain it. What happened? If you had a different opinion on the vid, you were censor banned. Well, I don't know how you were censor banned because I haven't had nothing. I've always had MAGA shit come across my shit. So, possibly I wasn't a part of that part, so maybe I didn't feel it during that one. You know what I mean? I also didn't post anything truly about morals and values or politics or anything back then, so I can't feel the hurt if it truly happened. But if it did, then just like I was saying, it doesn't matter Republican or Democrat. Most of them don't give a fuck about you. They're in it for the money. You almost lost your job because of it? Why? I mean, look, we work jobs, so yeah, freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom of consequence. We know that. Body autonomy. What? Because you were upset? Like what? I'm confused on how. How it made you. What made them decide that they wanted to speak with you about it? Is it because you were for it? Yeah, the same people that are fucking, like, wouldn't wear a mask because of COVID and because the government told them what to do are the same people now that's like, comply or die. Yeah, you don't go and protest. We just do on January 6th and all that, but you can't. You can't do it because we don't do anything bad. We don't break windows and beat up police officers and attack them and bring our big guns with us. We don't do that. We don't act like immature fucking idiots and break into the Capitol and shit on desks. We don't do that. No. It's just those liberals. You know, because the liberals got mad when George Floyd was murdered in the streets. Oh, but you know, he did drugs, so he wasn't worth it. His life didn't matter because he was an addict. Body autonomy, exactly. You think you got rights over my body? I'm lucky in the situation where I am a lesbian, so I got to worry about getting pregnant in that situation. But at the same time, you don't know if somebody's gonna come up and rape you. Did you disagree with? I don't understand what you mean by body autonomy. Are you saying you were for it or against it? I'm not trying. I don't understand what you're meaning by it. Like, when I say body autonomy, I'm saying, like, I am not okay with someone taking the rights of my body autonomy. Are you saying that you're for it? You're okay with the government controlling the rights to women's bodies? That's what I'm trying to figure out. And if you were thinking I was name calling, who was I name calling? People who agree with what's happening in this world? Oh, I will straight up. If you agree with the Trump administration after the murders and everything that's taken place this past year, I think you're a fucking idiot. If that's the name calling, absolutely think you're a fucking idiot. Harry and Ma, he better be alive. Hey. Yeah, I'm not gonna be nice anymore. I love your content, but I'll agree to disagree. Listen, Tammy. This isn't me being nice or me being mean or anything like that. I've been straight up honest. If you agree with this, I don't want to agree to disagree. I don't want you to follow me. I don't want you to watch my content. We don't have the same morals and values. I think that's what I don't know if you understood that, or maybe you wasn't in here earlier when I said that. I don't want you to follow me. If you're okay with the murder of Alex Preddy, Renee Good, Keith Porter Jr., I can name a few more. Hold on. I don't have all their names memorized yet, but I plan to. For 2026, Alex Preddy, Renee Good, Keith Porter Jr. I may mess up their names. Heber Sanchez Dominguez, Victor Manuel Diaz, Pere de la, Luis Betrell Yanez Cruz, Luis Gustavo Nunez Caceres, and Geraldo Lunes Campos. If you're okay with their murders and their deaths and this administration justifying it, I don't want you to follow me. I don't care if you like my content. The content's not for you. My content will no longer be anything that you like because this will be my content. My content until our world goes back to a normal world, we will not have the content that you agree with, and so therefore you should unfollow me and block me. Thank you. I wish you well in life. What did they say? You didn't have to block them if they're. Why did they say something like really bad? Look, there's gonna be people who have differences in opinion. That's why I say get the fuck out of my life. Like, that's the great thing about having your own platform. You can tell don't be in here. Like, I am a nice person. I do care about people. I don't wish anything bad. That's the difference between us. The difference is if that same ICE officer was getting attacked wrongfully, like if he was getting attacked the way that they're attacking them, I'm going to step in and help them the best of my ability. When I see someone that's wrongfully being hurt, I'm gonna do whatever I can. I'm a 5'2" little girl, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna stand in and I'm gonna go there. That's the difference, because I don't think murder is justified. Even if they did something wrong, I don't find it justified. I don't agree with the death penalty. I'm not an eye for an eye, because human life matters to me. I do think that there's sick people in this world that probably can't get help. And they're probably not going to change. And I do believe that they should be locked up in an institution. Jail or psych ward, you know, something that I don't think jail is really going to help too often, but you know, but I don't justify death. I can't watch someone, even someone that I hate, be hurt and not step in. I think that's the difference between what MAGA believes and what I believe. I don't know what I am. I don't consider myself a full-on Democrat or an independent or any. I don't know what I am. But I'm a believer in human life. And I think that it's worthy. And I don't think people should just lose their life and be murdered or publicly executed. But I never heard Jen mention them, though. Mention who? I'll admit, the first 2016, I voted for Trump. 1,000%. In 2016, I voted for Trump. I honestly believed that Hillary Clinton was not the person that I thought should be running the country. I will in just 1 second. I didn't think that she was. I didn't really do a whole lot of research, but I grew up in a very small hometown where I just listened to what they were saying. And I remember being in the voting booth, and I remember telling like Sam before we went and voted, and I was like, I just don't know what to do, because I feel like I'm having to figure out how to vote between the lesser of the evil. Because I knew that Trump was not going to be good for America, but I also didn't believe. See, it makes me sick that I voted for that man. I also believed that Hillary Clinton was just this disgusting person. I still think that she's a horrible person. I think that she's done some fucked up things. And so I don't like her. And so I voted for him. Absolutely. 2020 came around. I absolutely voted for Biden and Harris. And then 2024 came around, and I voted for Kamala and Walz. So yeah, I made a mistake, and I fucking was demolished when he won. Broke my fucking soul. Alright, I'm gonna let Busy in, so I can stop crying like a little bitch. What's up?
Hey, I just want to address the whataboutism, and I'm not here to bash I just want to say one thing. When there is an illegal immigrant who murders an American citizen, that criminal goes to trial and is prosecuted, and there's justice for the victims. The difference about what's going on is the citizens of this country have the right to protest peacefully and not die. And if they die or get shot by our government, we are not getting the chance to prosecute or investigate. That is the difference, is that we want criminals held accountable, whether they are
Republican,
here
Democrat, we
illegally,
don't give a
or
fuck.
they are the government, or they are a citizen, or they shoot you at a protest, or they murder you in your house. Due process is missing in all of this.
And that's what a lot of MAGA likes to use is Laken Riley. And
that's right. That's
pisses
right.
me off, because
That's
her
right.
murderer was arrested and he was convicted.
That's right.
He is in prison for what
There you
he
go.
did.
So the whataboutism doesn't work, because we are getting justice for the victims of criminals who are killing our citizens, but we're not getting justice for our citizens who are being murdered by our government. You are all, whether you are MAGA, whether you are a liberal, whether you are a Republican, you all have the right to be protected by your government, from your government, okay? Your constitutional rights are, no matter if you're MAGA, your rights are being challenged, okay? Your president today said people shouldn't carry guns. The NRA is silent.
Right and
the
threw it out the
NRA
fucking
is
window.
the NRA is silent because you were all told, like you said, Bouji, you were told for years they were coming for your guns when it never was true. All right? And then he stood up today in public and said those words out loud. Silence. Your rights, whether you are a liberal, a Republican, a MAGA, an independent, are being challenged. So no more whataboutism, okay? We want justice for all. We want accountability for all. I told you if I got in your box, I would preach the word.
Girl, you're welcome in here anytime because that's what we need. We need more people. Sometimes I can't get the words out because I'm so pissed
I know.
off
And that's
of what's
why I
happening. So I
wanted
have
to
no
come
problem with
in.
anyone coming up and saying you have a
Because-
different opinion. You know,
Yeah.
you can come up here and say your difference in opinion, but I'm not going to tell you I'm going to be nice to you anymore.
And
Not
that's
when it
what I
comes to
want to
that.
address that too. It's like, it's not my job to coddle MAGA. It's not my job to make them feel better about the mistakes they made. There are people in your chat right now that I love and adore. Nancy, I'm looking at you. I'm not trying to discredit your revelations, your coming to new conclusions, but I'm not here to make the pain that has been caused less. So it's not my job as a liberal to make MAGA feel better about the mistakes they made. So
own up to your
I'm not
mistakes,
here to make you
feel it because we've been feeling it for years now and trying to say it. So feel it. It fucking hurts.
And it's
man.
okay that it hurts your feelings. It's okay. But I'm not here to make the cushion feel better
Then you
for
don't
you.
believe in the Second Amendment because that is our right. That is our literal right. That is what all of us have. That's what people fight for on a daily basis. Is
Brenda,
their right
I agree with
to
you.
bear arms? I'm talking about Brenda right here, who said,
Yeah, Brenda,
I don't
listen, I'm not a gun supporter. I am the least. It is our right. It is in the Constitution, so I respect that. But if I had my way, there'd be no guns. Zero. So, but it's not up to me. I wish.
Right, I'm a
So
gun
what I'm
owner,
trying to
but
s-
I'm a responsible gun owner. I don't carry it out. I don't use it for any reasons besides I know that unfortunately here in this world, whether we are a Republican or Democrat leadership, it doesn't matter. There's people in this world that that they have guns and they will hurt you. And so
Right.
I will have it for my defense, but unfortunately we're in a country that we fear that we need to have it
Right.
to protect yourself, and that's scary.
But
That
as
should
a
show
liberal,
you.
I respect the Constitution, and you have the right to bear arms. And what I'm trying to put across is, if you can't pick and choose what constitutional rights are being protected, right? Due process, freedom of speech, they're all being attacked. And it doesn't matter what color you are, it doesn't matter what political party you are. If you support our Constitution, then this should be very a problem for you. It isn't a liberal, it isn't a Republican thing anymore.
It's literally an open book test. We're giving you an
And I
open
keep
book
trying to
test.
say, like, the answers were there, and I'm not trying to shame and blame, but it is no longer my job to make sure MAGA doesn't get their feelings hurt because I choose to not surround myself with people. Listen, prior to 2016, I want you guys to think back. I want you to think back to your girlfriend groups or your friend groups or your your drinking buddies. These were people, or your college buddies. You surrounded yourself with people that you had things in common with, right? I like to go to the movies, so I'm a bookworm. I'm on a book club. I like to go drinking. I go find my drinking buddies. You surrounded yourself with people that you felt comfortable with and shared values with. So that it is no different today. I choose to be around people in my life that I have shared values with. If I believe you think murder is okay, raping is okay, pedophilia is okay, then I'm going to choose to not be around you. If you vote to harm people, I'm not going to be around you. If you choose to have no empathy, or you choose to have selective empathy,
Or you
because
think that
everybody,
empathy is fake?
right. I mean, when Charlie Kirk died, it was everybody had to be on the same page or we were bad people. So suddenly, two other Americans were
Publicly
shot and killed,
executed.
and apparently that they choose no, they don't deserve the empathy
And it was the
that the
same thing, a
pod.
difference of opinion.
Right, that's righty Roo,
That's what
right
all
there.
three lost their life for, a difference of opinion.
Right.
And
So
they were all three
selective
publicly
empathy
executed.
is not somebody I want to be around. So I am around like-minded people, and that's always been how I've conducted my life, whether it was a book club, drinking buddies, college friends. So it's not any different. And so for you to get on your platform and say, I now understand I want to be around people who respect the same things I respect, value the same things I value. Okay, because it's about morals and values right now, and the constitutional right to bear arms, for free speech. Everyone on American soil, it isn't pick or choose. The Constitution doesn't exclude people. It is everyone. And so if somebody is picked up by ICE, they have the constitutional right to due process. If
Yes.
they're being picked up at their hearing, they're being denied their constitutional rights. And so that should bother everyone, because it may not be you yet. It may not be you yet, but it will be you. There you go. I just wanted to.
I really appreciate it, because I think, like I said, I need people to come in sometimes and share their same thoughts, because I know how I feel about it and I know how I can get it across, but sometimes hearing other people explain it in another way
Yeah.
will make them understand.
Right. And it triggered the whataboutism, because that's just, I feel like, a lazy argument, because you have to expand the conversation. Yes, it was tragic that she was killed. Yes, I feel for her family. No family should ever have to go through that. But that criminal was prosecuted, and that family received justice, just like it's supposed to happen, right? So now the people who have shot and killed two of our American citizens, they're not being allowed to be investigated. They are still on the job.
We're
So
being
where
lied to
is
about them. We're
so
being
let's
told that this man, that Alex Preddy, pulled a gun and
he
was
didn't.
coming there to massacre them.
He wasn't.
That
I
that was
know.
his intention. And if
I
y'all have
know.
not seen that video, that
I
man
know.
did nothing.
No. And so that's and so let's so what we want is due process. Now, if the ICE agent is innocent, and found innocent by a jury, then like it or not, that's our justice system. But we're not getting that. So there is no whataboutism. There is no whataboutism. So you have to expand the conversation.
Yep.
So anyway, I will let
appreciate
you
you.
get back to you. I know
I
that
appreciate it.
I know that people know me by being a smartass at Reddit, and I like it that way most of the time. But I have a lot to say. what's a TikTok when I'm trying to type. I can't get the whole sentence out, so I'm like, let me just come in and talk for a minute. Anyway, all right, I'll
I
get out
appreciate
and let you
you.
finish.
Thank
I
you.
forget that. I forget how
Busy
to
for
get
next
out.
president.
Stop.
I appreciate you. Any thoughts? Any questions? Anybody got anything they want to come up and say? You're a lovable smartass. She is, isn't she? Keep doing it. We'll keep spreading the word, and hopefully, we'll get to a point that we can fix it. Yeah, I want people to just understand, just be a basic, decent human. That's. I don't think that it's a lot to ask for. Empathy and compassion, and you know, we have to fight for your right, or you lose them, and that's sad. I don't either. I think that's the main thing. We need our midterms. Midterm elections are a huge thing. A lot of people don't pay attention to midterms. They really only know about the presidential election, which happens every 4 years. Same with the Olympics. They're like, oh, the Olympics comes every 4 years. It comes every 2 years. It's just a winter and a summer. But same thing. So this year we have the midterm elections. These are going to be where your House and Senate seats are up, and pretty much everyone has a Democrat running against them. This is a huge election. This right here will be a turning point of what it's going to be like for the last 2 years of his term. Um, Vote, get your voter registration, make sure that you have your passport or a real ID that has your citizenship on it, or your birth certificate that has your actual last name, because if they pass the SAVE Act, you will not be able to vote in this midterm election if you have a different last name. So I need people to make sure that is something you pay attention to. But the election is in November. It's a big deal. And if Democrats can take over the House and Senate, then we can see some action. Hopefully, that means that we will have a Congress that is ready to impeach and charge and convict Donald Trump and his administration for going against international law and in all the different laws that he's broken just in the past year. So midterms are a big deal. Please vote. Please learn what these candidates are for, and vote for your values. Make sure that you're voting for people that have the values that you live by. Senate race is absolutely very important, because if it passes in the House, then it goes to the Senate. If the Senate doesn't pass it, then it doesn't go to the president's desk and it doesn't go into law. So we need to make sure that the Senate is majority liberal. That's what we need. We'll see how it goes with Jasmine Crockett. I know she's running for Texas Senate. We've got Roy Cooper, who's running for Senate in North Carolina. We do have a lot of good candidates. Just make sure that you know who your senators that are running for your state and for the House as well. Yeah, I love Roy Cooper. I think he did amazing here during. He was our governor here in Mecklenburg. Like he was he was just amazing. The way that he handled COVID and the way that he shows empathy towards people. I think he has a good chance. Retire Susan Collins. They're as crooked as they come. That's the problem. Like, and you got people like fucking Ted Cruz, who's been in there for so long. I don't even understand how this man is even like how he keeps getting voted in. He leaves y'all every time there's a fucking ice storm. He goes to a warm climate. He's like, "Fuck y'all," and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna vote him again." That's just crazy. Yeah, I like him. So we'll see how Roy goes. I think he's got a good shot. So, but anyways, I think I'm done for the night. I appreciate everybody kicking back, relaxing, listening. Yeah, gerrymandering is horrible. They're trying to gerrymander North Carolina. North Carolina is just getting we're just getting slammed over here with the way that they're doing the maps and shit. So I have some fears on how everything's gonna go with the way that they're drawing everything up. But what can you do? What can you do? Hey, thanks for coming up. I appreciate it. I respect your sermon. All right, guys. I appreciate it. I think I'm done for tonight. I'll probably go live tomorrow sometime. Maybe during the day, maybe at night. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I appreciate y'all's support as always. I love you guys, and I hope y'all have a wonderful evening, and I hope you have a great day tomorrow. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night too.